Hello students. In the last class, I explained about the photosynthetic protista, whereas today's class I am going to discuss about slime molds. Hope you remember students. Otherwise, I'll show you again, then you will get a clarity. Classification of protista in that kingdom protista, it is divided into three groups. What is the first one? Photosynthetic protists, which is also called as a Protestian algae. And this is our yesterday's class. In that I explained about Pyrophyta, Chrysophyta and Euglenophyta, and all these topics and even their differences also we explained in the last class. And today's class I am going to discuss about the second group of the kingdom Protista, that is fungi like protists, which are called as slime molds. And in the next class I will discuss about animal like what I call protista, which are also called as protozoan protists, and that will be in the next class. And today's class I am going to discuss about this second one, that is fungi like protists, which is called as slime molds. Now let us take all the details of this slime molds. Now slime molds, they are also called as consumer and decomposer type of protists. What is the meaning of consumer? See, they will take the food material. How they will take the food material? By decomposing the dead and decaying organic matter. That's why they're consuming the dead and decaying organic matter. That's why they're called as consumer and decomposer protists, where these slime molds are saprophytic protists. What is the meaning of saprophytic? The organisms which depends upon dead and decaying organic matter. For example, like dead leaves or dead wooden logs or the thrown out food. So these dead and decaying organic matter may, they are depending and they are having them as food material. They are called as saprophytic, or even they are also called as decomposers. Both meaning is same. When meaning is same, you can use any word, so that is not a problem. You can use saprophytic, or you can use a decomposer, whatever it is. So you need to understand the meaning is same. So slime molds are saprophytic protists. Now there is one scientist, his name is Anton D. Berry. This Anton D. Berry, in the year 1887, he observed these slime molds. They are showing some difference. I'm sorry, they are showing some similarities with the animals also. That's why he included these slime molds under this Mycetozoa. But later they proved that they are also equally having the similarities with fungi. That's why that is not correct. So they cancelled this Mycetozoa, and now they are categorized under slime molds, which is one of the group of this protesta, kingdom protesta. Hope you understood. But again, I'm giving a very short recap so that you will a little more clearly will understand. There is one scientist, his name is Anton D. Berry. In the year 1887, he found some differences. I'm sorry, he found some similarities of these slime molds with animals, and then he kept these slime molds under this Mycetozoa. But later, many of the scientists, they told, yes, they are showing similarities with animals, but they are also showing similarities with fungi. That's why it is not correct to place them under Mycetozoa. That's why they created a separate group called as slime molds, which is included under kingdom protesta. I think now we understood so clearly. Now, as just now I told, they are called as fungus animals because one way they show the similarities with fungus also, and the other hand they are also showing similarities with animals. That's why one way fungus they are similar, and the other way they are similar to animals. That's why fungus animals. This is a very important point, students. You have to remember it. This first point is not that important. The reason for that is it is now not treated as Mycetozoa because they found the similarities with fungi. That's why it is cancelled. So it won't be usually asked, so you need not to worry. But this point you have to remember because they are showing equal resemblances with fungus and also animals. That's why they are called as fungus animals. Now they are also called as Protestian fungi. Why they are called as Protistean fungi? Because I just now told they resembling this fungus and also animals. In animals, they are resembling like Protista. So that's why, because they are having some Protistean nature and also fungus nature, they are called as a Protistean fungi. So hope you understood. That means the slime molds, they are also called as fungi animals and Protistean fungi. So these are the two common names of slime molds, whereas there are about 600 species of slime molds are reported till now by various biologists, whereas in that 27 species are reported in India. But that means overall slime molds, they include 600 species all over the world, whereas India it is reporting around 27 species of slime molds. Hope you understood the introduction of slime molds. Again, I'm telling you, slime molds are both fungus like and also animal like. That means they show some similarities of fungus and some similarities of animals, and they are also showing some Protistean nature. That's why they're also called as a Protistean fungus. Now, let us take some general characteristic features of the slime molds. That means how they are looking like, where they live, like that. Let us take some general characteristics. The first characteristic is habitat. That means where they live. Organism where they are living, that is called as habitat. Now, if you take the slime molds habitat, they are terrestrial and also aquatic. What is the meaning of terrestrial? If the organism is living on land, then that is called as a terrestrial, whereas aquatic means what? If the organism is living in water, then that is called as aquatic. So they can live both on land and also in water. Don't compare this with amphibians. Amphibian means the same organism. Let us take frog can be able to live both on land and in water. So don't think that slime molds are also they live in water. No, that is not correct. It is a wrong idea. Some slime molds, they are living on land, and some slime molds they live in water. Don't think that same slime mold it is living both on land and in water. No, first of all, slime molds they can't move. This you need to understand. So they lives on water or lives on land also, some, whereas some they lives in water. So this is a habitat. Hope you understood habitat. Habitat means the place where the organism live, that is called as habitat. Now, as this I already told you, they are saprophytes. What is the meaning of saprophytes? They depends upon dead and decaying organic matter and have phagotrophic mode of nutrition. What is this phagotrophic mode of nutrition? I think you are listening this word for first time. Basically, phagotrophic means they have this dead and decaying organic matter. That's why it is called as saprophytes. Na? So this dead and decaying matter in a holozoic manner, and they digest this food material with the help of a special structure called as a digestive vacuole. This is a very very important point. Again, I'll repeat, then you will understand little more clearly. They are depending upon dead and decaying organic matter. That's why they are called saprophytes. इधर तक समझ में है ना? Now, this dead and decaying organic matter, they are taking it in a form of holozoic manner, and they are digesting. After they take this food material in holozoic manner, they are digesting this food with the help of a digestive vacuole, a special structure called as a digestive vacuole. That's why it is called as phagotrophic mode of nutrition. Hope you understood. If you still don't understand, you can message me, and many students are asking the doubts. You can also ask the doubts and I'll clarify you. And please don't expect, because some students they are posting the doubt, and after 2-3 minutes or after 5-10 minutes they are putting some question marks. Don't think that the teachers are free. They can't be able to respond immediately, so they may be engaged in some work. For especially me, sometimes I'll go to the school, or sometimes I'll be having some work. I'll see, but I can't be able to give instant response. So I will come back home and then I'll reply it. So don't expect the like instant responses. Students, please understand, we are also having small works. Okay. Now, these organisms they develop a slimy mass of protoplasm around their body. Again, I'm telling you, let us take the slime molds. This slime molds, these organisms around their body they develops a slimy layer of protoplasm. Because their bodies are covered by slimy layer of protoplasm around their vegetative phases. What is the meaning of vegetative phases? Their developing stage. While they are developing, that means let us take slime mold. Now the slime mold, it is developing. While they are developing, they are having a thin layer of the slimy layer of protoplasm. That's why they are called as slime molds. What is the meaning of slime molds? They are having slimy layer of protoplasm. That's why they are called as slime molds, which are also called as false fungi. This point is important point. Hope you understood. Again, I am telling you so that you will understand little more clearly. This vegetative phases, that means developing slime molds are there na? Vegetative phases means developing slime molds. These are developing slime molds. When you touch them, you can see their developing bodies, they consisting of a thin layer of the protoplasm, slimy layer of protoplasm. Because their bodies are covered by a thin layer of a slimy layer of protoplasm, they are called as slime molds, which are also called as false fungus. Now they are achlorophylls. What is the meaning of achlorophylls? They don't have any chloroplast. That is the reason why they can't be able to prepare their own food material. Then how they get food material? This answer I already gave you. They depends upon dead and decaying organic matter. So they're achlorophylls. They can't be prepare their own food material. And their body, the organism's body, they don't have any cell wall. Then how the shape will be maintained? Their body don't have cell wall, but still they can be able to maintain their shape because their body is covered by cell membrane, which is also called as plasma membrane. Let us take our body. Our body may cell wall is there? No, no. So in our body also cell wall is not there, but still we can be able to maintain the structure. Na? How? Because our cells are also covered by plasma membrane. Like that, the plasma membrane is covering of the slime molds also. So this point you need to understand. Now let us take one more characteristics. Students, hope you are understanding. Any point, even single word also, if you don't understand, you ask me again, I will tell you. Okay. Now both sexual and also asexual types of reproduction can be seen in slime molds. That means some slime molds they reproduce asexually, and some slime molds they reproduce sexually. That means both the types of reproductions can be seen. How? Let us see how. Asexual reproduction by production of spores by a special sac-like structure. That means let us take organism. This organism, it develops a special sac-like structure called a sporangia, and in the sporangia they develops spores. And very tricky point, you have to listen it carefully. See, the body of the organism, it is not having the cell wall, है ना? आपको याद है ना? Just 2-3 minutes back only I told. The basically the organism's body, it is not covered by any cell wall. But did you understood? Did you see the tricky thing? But these organisms, when they are producing spores, that spores they consisting of the cell wall, which is made up of cellulose. Such a very tricky point. The organism, that means the main parent organism, it is not having any cell wall, but when they are producing spores, the spores they are having the cellulosic cell wall. Such a very wonderful point it is. This is one of the characteristic property of the slime molds, where the parent, the actual parent organism is not having any cell wall, but when they are producing spores, the spores they consisting of the cell wall. Such a tricky point, you have to remember this. And the sexual reproduction by anisogamous type, I already told you in yesterday's class, and day before yesterday's class also I told you what is the meaning of anisogamous. Anisogamous means production of different types of gametes. That means male gamete of one type and female gamete of another type, which they don't look similar. If they produce a different types of, that means morphologically dissimilar type of spores, then that is called as anisogamous gametes. Okay, anisogamete type of sexual reproduction can be seen in slime molds, whereas slime molds are very beneficial. Why they are very beneficial? Because they have capacity to decompose the organic matter, so that if any waste is dumped into the soil, they happily convert this particular waste into the useful what you call, organic nutrients, and they will have it. That means they are helpful in cleaning this particular soil. So that is a very important benefit to the slime molds. Hope you understood, students. Now these slime molds are of two types. What are they? The first one is acellular slime molds and cellular slime molds. Now let us take the differences between acellular and cellular slime molds. Yes, these are the differences between acellular slime molds and cellular slime molds. Just now, just 1 minute back only I told slime molds are of two types. What are they? Acellular slime molds. This is the first one, and the second one is cellular slime molds. Acellular slime molds, they are also called as plasmodium, whereas cellular slime molds, they are called as pseudoplasmodium. Again, I am telling you, acellular slime molds are called as plasmodium, and cellular slime molds, they are also called as pseudoplasmodium. Then where you can be able to see these acellular and cellular slime molds? If you take acellular slime molds are usually seen on dead and decaying plant matters like dead leaves or dead wooden logs or dead what I call bark of the tree, like that they can be seen on dead and decaying plant parts, whereas cellular slime molds can be seen in humus. Students, hope you know now what is humus. Humus means the uppermost layer of the soil is called as humus. The humus means basically soil is there na, soil may the uppermost layer, it is very very fertile because it is having lot of nutrients. So this upper layer of the soil only are calling it as humus, whereas cellular slime molds can be seen in humus. That means the uppermost layer of the soil you can be able to see. Where the third difference of acellular slime mold and cellular slime molds are the plasmodium. Just now I told these acellular slime molds are also called as plasmodium. Such plasmodium is the wall-less. What is the meaning of wall-less? Their cell structure, their body, they are not covered by any cell wall. Sir, then how the shape is maintained? Because they consisting of plasma membrane. Those cell wall is absent, their shape of the cell they can be maintained with the help of plasma membrane. Let us imagine their structure with our structure. Our body also don't have any cell wall, but still we can be able to maintain our cell structure. Now how? Because our cells are covered by plasma membrane. Same here, the plasmodium, they don't have any cell wall, but still they can be able to maintain their cell structure by the presence of plasma membrane. Now let us take the point. We will read the point. Plasmodium is a wall-less mass of acellular slime molds. That means so many acellular slime molds, they join, and they are joined with the help of, they are covered by the plasma membrane, and they are free living. Okay. Whereas cellular slime molds, during unfavorable conditions, that means they are not having proper temperature, when they don't get the proper food material, and these conditions are called as unfavorable conditions. During unfavorable conditions, various amoeboid cells, what is this amoeboid cells? What is this amoeboid cells basically means? This acellular slime molds, each cell it is called as amoeboid cell. Now many amoeboid cells, they form a group like an aggregate. What is the meaning of aggregate? Form a group, but they are forming a group, but they are not fused with each other. This is a very important point. This point, if you don't understand, you don't understand anything. Cellular means, see, many amoeboid cells are there na, they forms like a group, but they don't fuse with each other. That means let us take our classroom is there, and all our classroom it is filled up with students, hai na? Let us take in a classroom 40 students are there. All the 40 students are sitting in the same classroom, but are they fused into one single individual? No, no. They are living in the same classroom, they are taking their lectures in the same classroom, but all these 40 students are separate from each other. Hope you understood now. That means many amoeboid cells, they are present together, but they are not fused. Hope you understood now. And this aggregate mass only are calling it as a pseudoplasmodium. Now let us take acellular. Acellular mein many amoeboid cells, they are fusing, that's why they are called as acellular. Hope you understood now. Here, amoeboid cells are fused and they are covered by a single plasma membrane. Whereas here, many amoeboid cells are present together but they are not fused. Hope you understood now. If you still don't understand, no problem at all. I am always available. You can ask me now. These slime molds have free living diploid somatic cells, somatic phases on of one large mass of protoplasm. That means they are covered by the they are covered by the thin layer of the protoplasm, in which there are many thousands of nucleus, because so many amoeboid cells are fused na, that's why all the nucleus they are present together. That's why thousands and thousands of nuclei are present, lacking the cell walls, and sometimes they look like fan shaped, and this network of living matter only are calling it as a plasmodium. Whereas in cellular slime molds, numerous amoeboid cells are present in aggregate but they are not fused, and these mass of cells are called as pseudoplasmodium. Hope you understood. I think than the earlier point and this point it is very clear, I think so, because here in this clearly told, here many amoeboid cells they are fused. That's why a single mass they consisting of many nuclei and which is covered by the single plasma membrane. Whereas here many cells are just present together but they are not fused. That's why it is called a pseudoplasmodium. Whereas these acellular slime molds they just flow, like they passes in an amoeboid manner. When they are passing, they cross this particular soil of the forest and the surface of the dead leaves, and they engulf them in holozoic manner and digest them with the help of a food vacuole. Whereas here these cellular slime molds they are characterized by absence of flagella cells, and they're forming like a pseudo group, like a pseudoplasmodium, and absence of the sporangial cover, and absence of cellulosic cell wall, and I'm sorry, presence of cellulosic wall around the spore, and anisogamous type of sexual reproduction. So these are the characteristics of cellular slime molds, and the best examples are tubifera and also lycogala, like that so many examples are there. Whereas here cellular also dictyostelium. So these are the examples of acellular and cellular slime molds. Students, hope it is clear to you. Obviously one or two doubts will be there. I will be able to clear you when you message me. Okay, now let us take the last topic, that is, in the beginning I told these slime molds they show resemblances with both fungi and also animals. Let us take what are that resemblances. Let us take the first one, that is resemblances with animals. They are achlorophylls. What is the meaning of achlorophylls? The cells do not have any chloroplasts. That means they can't be able to prepare their own food material. Now vegetative body, that means plasmodium only, it is called as vegetative body. The plasmodium it is not having any cell wall but their shape it is maintained. How? Because their body it is covered by cell membrane, and characteristic amoeboid movement, amoeba like movement they will show, whereas holozoic mode of nutrition. So these are the difference, these are the similarities with animals and resemblances with plants, that means fungi. Fungi like differences kya hai na, formation of spores by a special sac-like structure called sporangia, and spores they consisting of cellulosic cell wall and a saprophytic mode of nutrition. What is the meaning of saprophytic mode of nutrition? uh, uh, they depends upon dead and decaying organic matter. And students, you need to excuse me, why, by mistake I typed some wrong thing, resemblances with fungi, and I made a mistake. Now I corrected it. Okay, now it is clear now. So resemblances with animals, so these are the resemblances, and resemblances with fungi, and these are the resemblances. Okay, hope you understood slime molds. Now tomorrow I will take the last topic of kingdom protista, that is protozoans. Okay, hope you understood it, but still if you have any doubts you can ask me. Thank you so much.